لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Ramadan Mubarak. Alhamdulillah, we appreciate Allah Azza wa Jalla for granting our requests to witness this year's month of Ramadan. Today marks the first of Ramadan, 1446 years after the hijrah of our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which correspond to the 1st of March year 2025. Remember that last year Ramadan we started reading Surah Al-Ahzab, but we could not finish. We were only able to read up to verse 35. Inshallah ta'ala, we shall continue the reading of Surah Al-Ahzab. Before then, I will continue to reiterate to us that whatever we are going to be reading from here is from what our ulama has gathered and put down for us to learn from. So whatever we are going to be saying here is not from our own self, but from what we have inherited from our scholars. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant mercy to all of our ulama. Also, this year's Ramadan comes with mixed feeling. Last year, we have some of our brothers with us. Sadly, this year, they are not with us again. They have returned back to Allah Azza wa Jal. Shortly before this tafsir, a picture was sent to the Shura platform where the image of Imam Ubaji was captured, and also the image of our brother Zayan. They were with us last year, but this year they are not with us. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant them mercy. May Allah forgive them their shortcomings. And we pray, may Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He unite us with them in Jannatul Firdaus. Inshallah ta'ala, we will not waste much time. We will continue this year's tafsir. We are reading Surah Al-Ahzab. Surah Al-Ahzab is a surah that is revealed in Medina, as we have already mentioned since last year. And this is a verse that is, this is a surah that is aiming to correct some of the ills of the society. And that is why this surah encompasses the social reform of our society. How can we live in an Islamic society, ranging from our homes? How can it be an ideal home? Then the society, our community that we live, and how we should be dedicated to following the dictate of Allah Azza wa Jal, the command and the instructions of Allah Azza wa Jal, and refusing to do that could count you among those people who are the hypocrites. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He never count us among the munafiqun. And that is why Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He is starting this surah, He addressed the Prophet, Ya ayyuhan nabiy, ittaqillaha wa la tuti'il kafirina.
أيها النبي النبي اتق الله ولا تطع الكافرين والمنافقين إن الله كان عليما حكيما.
Allah Azza wa Jalla is addressing his prophet, O prophet, fear Allah and do not obey the unbelievers and the hypocrites. That is because the unbelievers and the hypocrites, their duty is to ensure that the Muslims listen to them. Their duty is to ensure that they make the Muslims to compromise. And that is why Rasulullah Islam is being addressed here. And the address of the messenger is the address to his ummah. That we should never pay heed to their whispering. Because their whispering is evil. And that is why Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to be building on that in verse 36. Where Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهم الخيرة من أمرهم ومن يعص الله ورسوله فقد ضل ضلالا مبينا.
Allah Azza wa Jalla, he is saying in this particular verse 36 of Surah Al-Ahzab, it is recommended that while we are reading, you should hold your Quran. And that is why we have copies of Quran available. So if you do not have, you should be coming to Tafsir with your Quran, with your copies of Quran. We hope that inshallah ta'ala we make copies of Quran available subsequently, inshallah. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Bada uzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَن يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ. It is not for a believing man. It is not right for a believing man wala mu'minatin, or a believing woman. Bimana, it is not right for a Muslim man or a Muslim woman who believes in Allah Azza wa Jal, who believes that Allah is his Lord, and he believes that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger of Allah. إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا. It is not befitting for such people that when Allah and his messenger decree a command, when Allah and his messenger gives out an instruction, أَن يَكُونَ لَكُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ, that they begin to have khiyara, they begin to have option in the command that Allah Azza wa Jalla has given, or the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given. It is not befitting for a believing man and woman that you hear that Allah said, the Prophet said, then you are still having option. You are still thinking that according to my own. When Allah and his messenger is talking, you said according to your own. Then Allah said, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Allah said, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Whoever disobeyed Allah and his messenger, they gave out instruction and you refused, you become disobedient to Allah and his messenger, then in that case, فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. Then in that case, you are already misguided. You are off the path. You are off the path that leads to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And the kind of misguidance you have fallen into is such that it is mubin, very clear misguidance. And that is why all those people who refuses to hearken to Allah's instruction and to the messenger's instruction, you will see that they will be living a life that is hazard. A life that is not well composed. That is why Allah Azza wa Jalla, what did He say? وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي
وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا.
Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said that whoever turns away from the remembrance of Allah, Allah said A and you turn away, you choose B, then you will see that that person, he will be living a miserable life. A very miserable life. A life of constriction, as in very disturbing life. And that is why you see the society that we are living. When we decided not to follow Allah and His Messenger, you can see the society we are living today. People are now cutting people's body parts. I wish that one day we will return back to Allah and His Messenger, because there is no salvation, there is no solution to what we are facing in this country except we return back to Allah and His Messenger, because they have the solution to all of our problems. Now let's quickly look at the explanation of this particular verse we have read. This particular verse is revealed in connection to the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Which wife is that? Zainab bint Jahash radiyallahu anha. May Allah be pleased with her. What is the sababun nuzul of this particular verse? This particular verse was revealed regarding the wife of the Prophet, Zainab bint Jahash, wa ahiha Abdullah ibn Jahash, and the brother of Zainab. The brother of Zainab, who is Abdullah ibn Jahash, and also the mother of Zainab, who happens to be Umayyah bint Abdul Muttalib, Ammatu Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. She happens to be the auntie of the Prophet. Remember that Abdul Muttalib is who? Who is Abdul Muttalib to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Grandfather. So this woman happened to be the daughter of the grandfather of the Prophet, meaning that the woman will be the auntie of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وذلك أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم خطبها لمولاه زيد ibn Harisa. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam proposed to Zainab. He proposed to Zainab, but on behalf of his servant Zaid, on behalf of his slave Zaid ibn Harisa radiyallahu anhu. May Allah be pleased with him. Remember last year we talked about this story, although we only summarized it when we were talking about verse 4 in this particular surah, the verse 4 of this particular surah. Now this lady Zainab, the mother of the believers, when the Prophet ﷺ sent the proposal to her, she thought that the Prophet was proposing to her on behalf of himself. So she became happy. She became happy. Because who wouldn't love to be the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You understand? The best man. Everybody who want to marry the best of men. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he has all the quality that a woman will need in a man. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَلَمَّا عَلِمَتْ أَنَّهُ يَخْطُبُهَا لِزَيْدِ بِنْ حَارِثَةَ, when she realized that the Prophet ﷺ was not proposing on behalf of himself, but rather was proposing on behalf of his own servant, Abat, she refused. She refused the proposal of the Prophet. وَقَالَتْ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ حَسَبًا. The lady Zainab bint Jahash, she now responded to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I am better than this man Zaid bin Harisa. I have the nobility. I have a good standing in the society. More than what? More than him. Ana ibnatu ammatik. I am the daughter of your auntie. For Allah said, Ya Rasulullah, la ardahu li nafsi. I'm not pleased to marry him. Wa ana ayyimu Quraysh, and I am the widow of Quraysh. Wa kanat bayda'un jamila, and this woman, she is very, very beautiful. Zainab, she is very beautiful. She is described as bayda'un jamila. Bimana, she is a white woman. Wa fiha hajjatun. So this was a very big challenge for her. وَكَذَلِكَ كَرِهَ أَخُوهَا. The same way his brother was not happy with the proposal sent to his sister. You know, you want to marry a sister, one brother, one jagoda like that will just stand on the road. He doesn't want, because he feels that you are not what qualified for his sister. You know, women have that kind of problem. When a brother wants to marry them, they will begin to rate you. They will begin to evaluate you. Okay, he is tall, but why is he black? Okay, he is yellow, but he doesn't have money. Okay, he has money, but I don't like. You just look at something to downgrade him. But the reverse is the case when a man wants to marry a woman. A man can be a president and go and marry a woman in the village, isn't it? He will not even care. He can even go and marry a woman that doesn't even know ABC, and he will be happy. He will even love love her. But what about the woman? That is when she will begin to see that my salary is more than your salary. She will be looking at different things. My age is more than your age. I am taller than you. You are too short. I don't want to be moving with my husband. They will now be asking me whether he's my younger brother. So that is women for you. They want to have some compatibility, and that is why many women are still this spinster, they call them. They are still spinster up to today. They don't want to marry. They are looking for one angel to come from somewhere so that they will come and pick them. When you are even living in the lungu, how would that angel locate you? You understand? You want somebody who will have a cruiser, Land Cruiser, to come and marry you while you are living in Okaito. You understand? How is it possible? So you have to also come to the city, then you will be riding your own car, then you will get to meet those kind of people. Brothers, is that not so? Then you will meet your mate. So you cannot be there without nothing, then you are aiming high. So sisters, please reduce the volume. Do you understand? Not everybody is going to be like what you have set up for yourself. Anyone welcome, just manage them. We manage each other now. Just manage it. Even if it teeth come out like this. Assume say you don't see the teeth. Look at other qualities. I'm telling you the truth. The reality. Malam, good husbands are very, very scarce today. Do you understand? I have so many sisters that want to get married. But when you suggest brothers for them, they will look at the brother as a Kai. Malam, not this one. And the ones that they are pointing at, they are already occupied. And they are not ready. Even some will tell you that they are looking for Islamic calendar. Very soon the Islamic calendar is going to come, go down. Now Allah Azza wa Jalla is telling us here that this particular woman, she refused. She refused because of her standing. And the brother as well also refused. So this is also telling us, the brothers, to our women. Somebody came and wants to come and marry your daughter or your sister. Don't become a stumbling block. Don't become a stumbling block. You now be saying that he did not come from your village, or he is not speaking the same language as you are, or he did not come from the same clan that you want. And you will now oppress your own sister, making her to lose the man of her life. Many sisters have lost the man of their life. That is the man that Allah decreed for you. Since you have rejected it, no more marriage for you again. So be careful of who you reject. You don't reject people. Well, just go. No. Try to have try to know what they want from you. May Allah Azza wa Jalla may He guide our sisters. Now, When they refused, Allah Azza wa Jalla now sent this verse. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ
وما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا.
Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ. It is not right for a believing man, Yani Abdullah ibn Jahsh, that he is the brother of Zainab. It is not right for you, the brother of Zainab, Abdullah ibn Jahsh, وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ Yani uktuhu Zainab, or the sister Zainab. إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا. If Allah has decreed a matter, yani nikahu Zayd li Zainab, Allah has decreed that Zayd should marry to Zainab. فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ زَيْنَبْ بِذَلِكَ وَأَهُوهَا رَضِيَا وَسَلَّمَا. When they heard of this verse, what did they do? They submitted. And they were pleased. What about us? When you are doing something and they are quoting verse for you, you also be quoting verse to remove the verse. Because these people are believers, they submitted. Sami'na wa ata'na. وَجَعَلَتْ أَمْرَهَا بِيَدِّ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. Look at submission. They now submitted their affairs to be in the hand of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That do as you wish, O Prophet. If you want me to even marry somebody that is lower than Zayd, no problem. Fankihuha Zaydan. Then Allah's messenger now married her to Zayd. Wadahala biha. Then he now consummated the marriage with Zainab. Then in this particular marriage, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Zayd was from the household of the Prophet. In fact, he is the adopted son of the Prophet. They used to call him Zayd bin Muhammad. Now, when they were doing this marriage, he sent Saqa ilayha Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asharat dananir. He sent some money to her. He sent some money as part of the prerequisite of the marriage. Just like some of us are also buying box when we want to marry. So they sent some money, dananir, asharat dananir, that is 10 dinar, and also 16 dirhaman, and also 60 dirham, wahimaran, hijab, surplus. They make sure that there is hijab. Wadir'an, then armor was also part of the luggage that they sent to who? To Zainab. Wamalhafatun, and also blanket was part of the gift that was sent to Zainab. Wahamsina mudda min at-ta'am, and 50 muddu of ta'am, of food, was sent to Zainab. Wasalatina sa'an min tamr, and also 30 sa'a. You know sa'a? How many mudu is in sa'a? 4 mud. So he said that salasina sa'an, that is 30 sa'a of what? Of a date. Date in that time is very, very what? Is valued. So this is what their custom demands. In our own custom, from where I am coming from, you will be demanded to pack what? Yam. In our own custom, you will be demanded to carry what? Akoti box. In some people's custom, they will demand you to buy some things. So long as those things are not haram and you agree to it, then you must fulfill it. I hope you understand now. So in their own custom, this is what, because you cannot be coming to marry my daughter today and you will now be bringing mudu, 30 mudu of debinu. What do you want me to use it for Allah's sake? You now say that you want to do sunnah. Which sunnah? You understand? So that is their what? That is their custom in that land. So in our own custom here, they will demand you to bring half bag of rice or sometimes 1 bag. You will negotiate. Say, money no today, please, I beg, may una assist me. Just like what happened to Nabi Musa alayhi salam. In Surah Al-Qasas, Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us about Nabi Musa alayhi salam when he now saw a woman he now want to marry. Then the father of the woman said that, so as part of the condition for you to marry my daughter, you will have to serve me for 10 years. But if you like, you can add 2 years bonus. Sorry, 8 years, go. If you like, then you add 2 years, meaning 10, to complete 10 years. And Nabi Musa alayhi salam, he was serving him for complete 10 years, serving his in-law for complete 10 years before he was free. So if it is part of the condition of marriage that when you are coming to marry my daughter, you have to go to my farm and go and farm for 10 years, and it is still my daughter you want to marry, then you have to do it. But if you don't want, you can go, another person will come. But it is also okay that the wali of our women should make things very easy. The best marriage is the one that is easy. Sisters, I hope you understand. So that you will not see that, this one now, evidence now. If you raise your bar, that is how you will remain. Nobody will get married, because Nigeria is not easy now. You understand? If he has where he is managing, he has where he can sleep, and he also have little income. Mala, just accept. You build your life with him. Don't go and squander all the money just for one day, then you now come and stay in hunger. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant us understanding of our deen. Now he said that in spite of the fact that this particular verse is connected to this particular issue, but this matter it serves as a basis. It serves as a basis for Islamic law. وَيَنْطَبِقُ عَلَى نِظَامُ الْحَيَاةِ الْإِسْلَامِي كُلُّهُ. And this is guiding us to how we as Muslims should live our life. فَبِمُوجِبُ هَذَا الْحُكُمْ لَا يَحِقُّ لِفَرْدِ مُسْلِمٍ. With the virtue of this particular ruling in this verse, it is not right for any individual Muslim, or sha'abin, or a society, a community, or hayatin, or an organization, or muhkamatin, or a court, or majlis al-niyabi, or a representative, all this house of representative, parliament. It is not right for all of these people, or dawla, or a country, and ya'malu ra'yuhu bihurriyatin fi amrin sabata fihi hukm min Allah wa rasulihi. It is not right for them to act with their opinion in a matter that the Prophet and Allah Azza wa Jalla has already established, in a matter that has been established from Allah and His Messenger. If Allah Azza wa Jalla has already said this is how it should be done, whether you are individual Muslim, whether in the community, whether in the court, whether in the country, they should never go against it. If indeed they are believers. It says, فَالَّذِي يَجِبُ أَنْ يَبْقَ مُسْلِمًا عَلَيْهِ بِالضَّرُورَةِ أَنْ يُغْنِيَ رَأْسَهُ أَمَامَ حُكْمِ اللَّهِ. He said that a Muslim should remain upon, by necessity, he should remain humble. He should lower his head in front of what? In the presence of the hukm of Allah, the rulings of Allah Azza wa Jal and His Messenger. But as for the one who do not submit, he did not want to obey, he did not want to establish what Allah and His Messenger has established, then this kind of person cannot claim to be a Muslim. وَإِن لَمْ يَقْبَلْ ذَلِكَ فَمَهْمَا جَهَرَ وَدَّعَ أَنَّهُ مُسْلِمٌ فَهُوَ مُنَافِقٌ عِندَ اللَّهِ وَعِندَ النَّاسِ. So if he refused to accept the dictate of Allah and His Messenger, however he professed, however he claimed that he is a Muslim, he is not a Muslim, rather he is a munafiq. He is a what? He is a munafiq. He is a hypocrite. In the Allah wa in the nas. So if you said you are a Muslim, but Allah and His Messenger said do this, but you said no, in my own opinion this is what I feel that I must do, then that means you are not actually a Muslim. You are not a believer. Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he said that this particular verse, فَدَلَّ هَذَا عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ إِذَا ثَبَتَ لِلَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, that when a particular matter has been established for Allah and His Messenger, فِي كُلِّ مَسْأَلَةٍ, in every matters min al-masail, from among the matters of Islam, hukm talibi or hukm habari, whether this ruling is a ruling that comes as a result of request. For example, you ask that what is the ruling of so and so, and the court now tell you, or the mufti now tell you that this is the ruling of Islam. This is hukm talibi. Then the hukm khabari is when Allah Azza wa Jalla send down his rulings that is contained in the Quran. Then you now reject it. He said, فَإِنَّهُ لَيْسَ لِأَحَدٍ أَن يَتَخَيَّرْ لِنَفْسِهِ. It is not right for anyone to now choose for himself غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ الْحُكْمِ, different from that hukm. فَيَذْهَبِ إِلَيْهِ. Then he will now be working with the hukm that he chooses for himself. Like the Nigerian that have chosen a constitution that is alien to the divine instructions of Allah Azza wa Jalla. وَأَنَّ ذَلِكَ لَيْسَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ أَصْلًا. He said that particular action that you have done, it indicates that that person is not a believing man, neither is she a believing woman in the first place. I hope you understand. So a Muslim, the basis of a Muslim is for you to accept wholeheartedly whatever Allah and His Messenger has dished out. فَدَلَّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّ ذَلِكَ مُنَافِلِ الْإِيمَانِ. So this is something that negates Iman. It negates Iman, that you reject the instruction of Allah and His Messenger. Allah is saying that you should put on hijab, but you decided that you will not put on hijab. This is a confrontation. This is an outright rejection of Allah's instruction. وَقَدْ حَكَى الشَّافِعِيُّ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. Imam Shafi'i, he said, إِجْمَاعُ الصَّحَابَةِ وَالتَّابِعِينَ وَمَنْ بَعْدَهُمْ على أن من استبنت له سنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لم يكن له أن يدعها لقول أحد. Imam Shafi'i said that the companions have already had consensus and agreement, and all of the tabi'in and those who follows them after them, that whoever they have established the sunnah of the Prophet for you, they have made it clear that this is the sunnah of the Prophet. He said, "Lam yakun lahu an yadah." It is not permissible for you to leave it, liqawli ahadin, for the statement of anybody. However great that person is, if Allah and His Messenger has said something, if Shaykh will now come and say, "Me, ma, I have this opinion," leave his own opinion and follow that of Allah, and follow that of His Messenger. وَلَمْ يَسْتَرِبْ أَحَدٌ مِنْ أَئِمَّةِ الْإِسْلَامِ فِي صِحَّةِ مَا قَالَهُ الشَّافِعِيُّ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. And all of the A'immatul Islam, they are in agreement with what Imam Shafi'i, what he said. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said it. In completion of this verse, what did He say? وَمَن يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. Allah said that whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger, وَالْمَعْصِيَةُ مُخَالَفَةُ الْأَمْرِ. That is when you oppose an instruction. That is the meaning of ma'siyah. وَهِيَ ضِدُّ طَاعَةِ. It is the opposite of obedience. Meaning whoever disobey Allah and His Messenger. وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ بِمُخَالَفَةِ مَا جَاءَ فِي الْكِتَابِ وَالسُّنَّةِ. By you going against, opposing what has come in the Kitab, in the Quran and the Sunnah, أَوْ فِي أَحَدِهِمَا, or in any of them. Because there are people today who said that they believe in Quran, but they do not believe in they do not believe in Hadith. And they said that they are what? Quraniyun. You must obey Allah and His Messenger. فَمَنْ خَالَفَ مَا جَاءَ فِيهِ مَعًا فَهُوَ عَاصٍ لِلَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Whoever go against what both of them has come with, then you have actually disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. وَهُوَ ظَاهِرٌ. This is very clear. وَمَنْ خَالَفَ مَا جَاءَ فِي أَحَدِهِمَا فَهُوَ أَيْضًا عَاصٍ لِلَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. If you also disobey any of them, you said you want to obey Allah, but you don't want to obey His Messenger, you have actually disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. Why? لِأَنَّ الْقُرْآنَ وَالسُّنَّةَ كُلُّ مِنْهُمَا وَحْيٌ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. That is because the Quran and the Sunnah, they are both revelations from Allah Azza wa Jal. Remember Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not utter any statement from his desire. In huwa illa wahyun yuha. Rather, whatever he say is rather a wahy. It is a revelation, and Allah Azza wa Jalla inspired him. Allah Azza wa Jalla also said again, وَمَنْ يُطِئِ الرَّسُولِ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. Whoever obeys the messenger has indeed obeyed Allah. Whoever disobeys the messenger has disobeyed Allah Azza wa Jalla. I hope you understand. So mafhumul muhalafa, you understand? Whoever disobeys the messenger, then you have indeed disobeyed Allah. So the Quraniyun, they said that we obey Allah, but we do not obey the messenger because the Prophet ﷺ should not have a say. How? Even common sense denotes that definitely Rasulullah ﷺ will have to explain the message to you. If the Prophet comes with the Quran, and for example, the Prophet ﷺ said, Kul huwa Allahu ahad. Then the companion now asks him, "Oh Prophet, what do you mean by Kul huwa Allahu ahad?" Will the Prophet still say, I say, Kul huwa Allahu ahad? Will he continue saying that? Meaning he will have to explain, isn't it? Now that is explanation. That is why. La tuharrik lisanaka inna alayna jama'ahu wa qur'ana fa idha qara'nahu fattabi qur'ana thumma inna alayna. So Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Summa inna alayna bayana. We will be the one to explain it to you. So as much as the Quran has been revealed, its explanation is contained in the Sunnah. Because the Sunnah is the explanation of the Quran. As if you just pick the Quran and you said you are okay with the Quran, in fact you will be confused. You will be confused. If not, Allah would have just thrown the book. You now see the book falling from Sama. Which book is that? Allah will just sound it from the heaven. Say that is the Quran. You people should take it and be reading it. But Allah did not do that. He gave it to a messenger, so that that messenger will teach us. This is a common sense, but it is not common for those who has not been guided. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He guide us. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. That these particular people are already misguided. Those people who oppose Allah and His messenger, al-Bud and Tariq al-Haq, they are distant away from the right path. Mubinan ay bayinan zahiran wadihan. Very clear misguidance. Very clear misguidance. So this particular verse, yadullu ala izam jarmu muhalafatu amrullahi wa rasuli, it is indicating the great crime involved in you going against Allah and His messenger. Because disobeying Allah and His messenger, dalalan bayyin. Wa biqadri ma takunu al-ma'siyah wa muhalafatu amrillahi wa rasuli yakunu dalalan bayyin. So the more you continue to disobey Allah, it will be taking you away from the path. Just the same way, the more you continue to obey Allah Azza wa Jalla, it will increase you in what? Iman. It will increase you in Iman. It will increase you in Yaqeen. Now the hadith of Anas, another hadith of Anas regarding this particular matter, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he also proposed. You can propose on behalf of somebody. Yes, there is nothing wrong with that. For example, Imam Buhari wants to marry Masna very soon, inshallah. You understand? But Imam Buhari is shy to talk to that sister. And me, I can talk very well. So I now talk to the sister. Sister, how far now? This Imam Buhari, you like him? You say, I like him. Okay, the marriage will happen. So Rasulullah Islam, he sent a proposal letter to a woman of the Ansar. But he called the father. He called the father and said that I want to marry your daughter to Julaybib. To Julaybib. When the father heard that it was Julaybib, he said, my prophet Julaybib, he said yes. Because Julaybib is not actually of that kind of standing. In fact, he is a dwarf. According to the physical description, he is a dwarf. He is very short, like the shortest person in this masjid. You understand? And also very black. You understand? He is not, Allah has not endowed him with physical beauty. But his iman is great. Sisters, I hope you understand. So when we come to marry you, please look at our inner beauty. Don't look at our outer beauty. Because Nigeria did not allow our beauty to come out. We are actually handsome, brothers. Is that not so? But look at, when I see some of our brothers that came to Abuja, they are they are yellow. But today they are now like me. It's not easy. May Allah make it easy for us. Now he sent a message to the father. The father said, okay, if it is Julebib, let me talk to the mother first. You know, there are some father like that. They cannot give you answer. They will say, let me go to They say, let me not be only me born now. So if, for example, somebody comes to seek for your daughter's hand in marriage, for example, Abu Landlord now, somebody comes to seek for your daughter's hand in marriage, do you need to seek your wife's approval before you answer me? Abu Landlord, you don't know. You go and consult the wife. Some of our brothers are woman rapper. So he said that let me go and consult my wife, so that I will not cause problem for my house. Because if you just go and give answer like that, the woman can give you a tough time. So he now went to the woman. The woman said, Famtana Atumuha. The woman said that, you know women now. He said, Julebi, where you they go? No, not Julebi, but all people. Maybe say they happy say this is my beautiful daughter. In fact, so she rejected it. She refused the offer. Then they were about to send message back to the prophet that we don't want. If you have another person, you can bring the person. Then the lady look at a mashallah sister. The mashallah sister was inside her house here, overhearing the conversation of the parent. The lady now said that, Aturiduna an taridu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? An taruddu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Are you people thinking of rejecting the offer of the prophet? In kana qad radiyahu lakum fankihuhu. If he is happy that I should get married to Julebib, whoever that Julebib is, I will marry him. Qala Anas said, فَكَأَنَّهَا جَلَّتْ عَنْ أَبُوَيْهَا. It is as if she removed what was covering the eyes of the parent. Immediately the parent, they come to their senses. وَقَالَ صَدَّقْتِ. Say, yes, you have said the truth. فَذَهَبَ أَبُوهَا إِلَى رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. Then the father now went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, إِن كُنْتَ رَدِيتَهُ فَقَدْ رَدَيْنَاهُ. If you are happy that Julebib should become our in-law, then we are also happy to welcome him as our in-law. I hope you understand. Then what now happened? قَالَ فَزَوَّجُهَا. Then the marriage now happened. The marriage now happened. Shortly after the marriage happened, in fact, Julebib actually went to the market with the little that he got to go and buy something for honeymoon. He now hear Hayal al-Jihad. Julebib now took the money to buy sword. He did not even come back home. He entered jihad. Before you know it, Julebib is fighting inside jihad and he killed people. And he was also killed in this particular battle. Anas bin Malik said that فَلَقَدْ رَأَيْتُهَا وَإِنَّهَا لَمَنْ أَنْفَقَ بَيْتُ بِالْمَدِينَةِ. He said that I saw this particular woman, that is the wife of Julebib. No house in Medina that people send gifts to more than this particular house, because of the tragedy that happened to them. So you can see, imagine she refuses. That sin would have been established, and Julebib will definitely is actually on his way to martyrdom. So all of this is indicating that we should always obey Allah and His Messenger, irrespective of what we are seeing to be a disadvantage. It was mentioned by Ibn Abdul Barr that this woman, this particular lady, while she was in her room, she recited this particular verse that we are reciting now. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. Ibn Kathir said in his tafsir that this particular ayah is general in every matter. وَذَلِكَ أَنَّهُ إِذَا حَكَمَ اللَّهُ, when Allah and His Messenger has already ruled upon a matter, بِشَيْءٍ فَلَيْسَ لِأَحَدٍ مُخَالَفَتُهُ, it is not right for anybody to go against it. وَلَا اِخْتِيَارٌ لِأَحَدٍ, and you do not have any option. No option for anyone. No opinion, no more statement. We don't want to hear anybody's statement again. Once Allah and His Messenger has said something. كما قال الله تعالى, as Allah Azza wa Jalla has also said, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ
فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فيما شجر بينهم
ثم لا يجدوا في
أنفسهم حرجا مما قضيت ويسلموا تسليما.
Allah Azza wa Jalla said, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ, I swear by your Lord, لا يؤمنون, you are not a believer, حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم, until you allow Muhammad to serve as a judge between you in your dispute. Until you allow him to judge between you in your dispute. ثم لا يجدوا, then you will not find في أنفسهم, within themselves, harajan, any form of resentment, مما قضيت, in what you have judged. وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا, and you should submit with absolute submission. Now, the next verse.
وَإِذْ تَقُولُ لِلَّذِي أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَأَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِ أَمْسِكْ عَلَيْكَ زَوْجَكَ وَاتَّقِ اللَّهَ وتخفي في نفسك ما الله مبديه وتخشى الناس والله أحق أن تخشى فلما قضى زيد منها وطرا زوجناكها لكي لا تكون على المؤمنين حرج في أزواج أدعيائهم في أزواج أدعيائهم إذا قضوا منهن وطرا وكان أمر الله مفعولا.
MashaAllah, I think we have another Amma Sulaiman here. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَإِذْ تَقُولُوا, remember when you said, تَقُولُ لِلَّذِي أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ, remember when you said to the one whom Allah has shown His favor, Allah has bestowed favor upon him, وَأَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِ, and you have also showed favor upon him as well. What did you say? Tell him, أَمْسِكْ عَلَيْكَ, hold on to your wife. أَمْسِكْ عَلَيْكَ زَوْجَكَ, hold on to your wife. وَاتَّقِ اللَّهِ, fear Allah, fear God. وَتُخْفِي فِي نَفْسِكَ مَا اللَّهُ مُبْدِيهِ, and you were hiding within yourself what Allah is about to expose. وَتَخْشَى النَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ أَحَقُّ أَن تَخْشَى, you fear the people, whereas Allah is the one who is deserving that you should fear. فَلَمَّا
قَضَى زَيْدٌ مِنْهَا وَطَرًا زَوَّجْنَاكَهَا,
he said that if Zayd bin Harisa, we are still talking about Zayd bin Harisa. Zayd bin Harisa is the only companion that his name is mentioned in the Quran. Look at somebody who is seen as nobody, right? Allah honored him. He is the only companion, he is the only Sahabi that his name appeared in the Quran. So do not look your husband that your husband may not be this, whatever. You don't know how Allah is going to honor him in the future. When Zayd was passing through all this problem, he never knew that Allah will reveal the verse and he will mention his name. So he said that فَلَمَّا قَضَى زَيْدٌ مِنْهَا وَطَرًا, if Zayd has finished his contract with her and he is no more in need of marrying her, then Allah said, زَوَّجِنَاكَهَا, we will force you to marry her. There is a reason why I say we will force you. You understand? Rasulullah did not want to marry Zainab. You understand? But Allah said, we are going to force you to marry her. Because Allah wants to correct something that is more than the desire of the Prophet. There are some things that will have general benefits. that will override your own personal what? Interest. Rasulullah has personal interest, which is, I don't want to marry Zainab because Zainab is the wife of who? Of my adopted son. But Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to cancel that marriage. A marriage that he was the one that even bring it together. He will use his hand to cancel that marriage, and Allah will force the Prophet to marry that same lady again. And Rasulullah is fearing the mouth of people. That is why Allah said that وَتَخْشَى النَّاسِ You fear the mouth of people, whereas Allah is the one who you should fear. He said he is doing this. Allah Azza wa Jalla has a wisdom, hikmah. لكي أزواج أدعيائهم. Allah Azza wa Jalla said that I am doing this so that there won't be any form of haraj, there won't be any form of difficulty upon the believers in regards to them marrying the wives of their adopted what? Of their adopted son. إِذَا قَضَوْا مِنْهُنَّ وَطَرًا. If they had already, finished every, process of divorce with them. وَكَانَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ. And the decree of Allah, the commandment of Allah, hatmun lazim, it is sure to happen. You understand? It must happen. Now this particular verse was revealed again regarding Zainab bint Jahash and Zayd bin Harisa. I have already told you how the marriage comes about. May Allah be pleased with both of them. Al-Allama Imam Sa'di rahimahullah, he said that the sabab nuzul of this particular verse is that Allah Azza wa Jalla anna Allah arada an yashra shar'an aman lil mu'minin. Allah Azza wa Jalla want to establish a legislation for the believers. What is the legislation? Anna al-adiyya laysu fi hukm al-abna' wa haqiqatan. That the adopted son, the ruling upon adopted son is not the same as a real son. That you adopt a son does not mean that he's your real son. Because in the Arab then, if you adopt a son, that adopted son can inherit you. But Allah Azza wa Jalla is about to cancel all of those things. You understand? So if you adopt a child that is calling you daddy, he's not your daddy. You go and pick a child from an orphanage home, and he's not calling you daddy. And you are now also saying, my child, my child. That particular child, if you have another son again, and that particular child is a girl, both of them can marry. Because they are not even related. I hope you understand. But in the Arabs then, they see them as what? As the same. And that is what Allah Azza wa Jalla wants to correct. And he wants to correct it from the leader. You understand? He wants to correct it from the leader. وَأَنَّ أَزْوَاجُهُمْ لَا جُنَاحَ عَلَى مَنْ تَبَنَّاهُ فِي نِكَاحِهِمْ. So it is not, haram, it is not unlawful that the one who adopted a child should marry the wife of the adopted son. I don't know whether you people are getting me now. For example, I adopt Imam Ahmad. Example. I adopt Imam Ahmad, and Imam Ahmad now went and married a lady. Imam Ahmad is calling me in Papa. I not be in Papa, but he's calling me in Papa. So Imam Ahmad has divorced the lady. Shariatically, Shariatan, I can marry that particular wife. But people are going to shout, Abi. They will shout, let them shout. So that is what Allah wants to cancel. So this particular matter is, the Arabs, they are accustomed to this matter. And Allah wants to reveal this issue so that it will not just be a statement from the Prophet, but it should be a practical solution, practical correction to this to these particular ills in the society. And when Allah desires something, he will bring a reason. This is what Imam Sa'di, this is what he said. Then Allah said, وَإِذْ تَقُولُ لِلَّذِي أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَأَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِ. Remember when you said to the one whom Allah has favored, and you have also favored, what does it mean? That Allah has favored him. المراد بهذا سيدنا زيد رضي الله عنه مثلما صرح القرآن بذلك فيما بعد فماذا كان إنعام الله عليه. What is this favor that Allah has favored him? وكيف كان إنعام رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. How did the Prophet Islam, how did he favor him? So that we can understand it. We will be able to understand this from the short story. Let me present the story of who? Of how Zayd bin Harisa comes about. In a very summarized form. Zayd bin Harisa, he is from Bani Kalb. His mother is Wakanat Ummuhu Sa'di ibn bint Salaba. His mother is Sa'di bint Salaba, min Bani Muayyan. Now he was around 8 years old. The mother took him to the house of her own parents. While they were there, some people now attacked that community. When they attacked that particular location, they killed many people and took some people as hostage, as a slave, right? And amongst those people that they took is what? Is who? Zayd bin Harisa. After they took him, they now went and sold him in a slave market. Then this man, Hakim bin Hazm, who is the son of the brother of Sayyidat Khadija. Who is Sayyidat Khadija? That is the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this particular man, Hakim ibn Hazm, he now bought him from that slave market. Faja'a bihi ila Makkah. He now brought him to Makkah. And he now gave this particular boy as a gift. As a gift to who? To Khadija. فَلَمَّا تَزَوَّجَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ خَدِيجَةَ وَحَدَّهُ عَنْهَا. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam got married to Khadija, Khadija now transferred the ownership. You know what Khadija did now? She transferred all that she had and gave it to who? And gave it to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So sisters, if you know that you do not have iman like Khadija, don't go and transfer all your money to your husband. Because your husband has the right after you transfer that money to take from that money and marry another woman. You understand? And don't begin to say that now my money, now in the use. It is our money. I hope you understand. May Allah Azza wa Jalla may He grant us understanding. وَلَقَدْ أَحَبَّ النَّبِيُّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he loved Zayd bin Harisa. He loved Zayd bin Harisa, and this particular boy was very, very fortunate to be in the care of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At this particular time, Zayd bin Harisa, when the Prophet was blessed with Nubuwa, Zayd bin Harisa was already 15 years. Then suddenly the news now got to the parents. The parents are not living in Makkah. The news now got to them that their child is in Makkah under the servitude of a man as a slave. So they now come to Makkah. When they come to Makkah, they now went to the Prophet's house. That we heard that our child who was sold into slavery is in your house. Rasulullah ﷺ said that, are you sure? They said yes. Then the Prophet ﷺ told them that, okay, no problem. If he comes out and he wishes to follow you people, no problem. I will allow him to follow you. But if he chooses to stay with me, I will not force him to follow you people. And they agreed. So they now brought Zayd bin Harisa to come out. He now told Zayd bin Harisa that these are your parents. Do you recognize them? He said, yes, this is my my father, and this one is my uncle. He said, no problem, if you wish to follow them, you can go. Zayd bin Harisa refused to leave Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I cannot trade you with anybody. You are even more than a father and an uncle to me. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then they now said, Zayd, are you now opting to become a slave in your entire life? Instead of having freedom and staying with your family, you are now choosing a stranger over your own family? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now went out holding Zayd bin Harisa, and he now raised his hand. He said, as from today, Zayd bin Harisa is no more a slave. He is now my adopted son. This is how Zayd bin Harisa, this is how he became the adopted son of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So amongst the people that entered Islam in the beginning, Zayd bin Harisa was among them. Among 4 people. Who are those people? Abu Bakr, Khadija, who again? Ali bin Abi Talib, and who? Zayd bin Harisa. They are the first 4 people to accept Islam. So all of this is the ni'mah that Allah Azza wa Jalla is talking about. Is the ni'mah that Allah Azza wa Jalla is talking about. That an'ama Allahu alayhi wa an'amta alayhi. So Allah Azza wa Jalla blessed him with the ni'mah of Islam. And the Prophet ﷺ blessed him with the ni'mah of what? Freedom. Because he was a slave before. Ibn Kathir said that this is a man that has a very good standing. He is so beloved to the Prophet ﷺ that he is now being called the beloved to the Prophet. In fact, his own son, the son of Zayd, who is the son of Zayd? Usama ibn Zayd. He is the beloved to the beloved of the Prophet. Al-Hibbu ibn al-Hibb. Wa kana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam zawwaja Zaydan bi ibnati ammihi Zainab bint Jahash al-Asadiyya. And like we have already mentioned, Zayd got married to Zainab, and they stayed for a very short period. A very short period, just 1 year. Just 1 year, Wahala began to burst. That is where we are going to stop today. Do you know why Wahala began to burst? Because Zainab actually accepted. He accepted because the Prophet Islam has already given command. But she was finding it difficult to fight her what? Her feelings. You understand? It is just as if they force somebody on you. Because every time he still look at Zayd, he's still looking at him as a slave. You understand? So if you know that you are a driver, or you are somebody who is a farmer, don't go and marry the daughter of Tinubu. You understand? Because he'll be looking at you as in no regard. Houseboy, thank you. Except if she is what? She is willing to let go of her what? Of her standing, of her pride. Women has pride. Even some that doesn't even have anything, they have pride. Talk more of the one that now have something. You now want to say, come and cook for me. You say, which cook? Even when I'm in my father's house, I don't cook. You now want to come and say, see, person that I help you. Who you are, there are women out there that will value you. You understand? Don't force marriage. Marriage is not by force. Marry the person that will appreciate you. Not the one that said that I only manage you. Which you manage? Na babambola ibi. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.